Overpass on deck. Fluffy Aimers, evil geniuses. And evil geniuses, after managing to pull off the long-fought upset, shall we say, snatching away the opponent's map pick. Now getting more comfortable territory here on Overpass, John.
Yeah, it is the first time Fluffy Aimers will be playing Overpass in Counter-Strike 2. They were 2-0 over the last 2 times they played it in CSGO, but that doesn't really matter anymore, right? We'll see how they perform here, starting on the CT side again. Yeah, it is Evil Genius's map pick. They did take the Fluffy Aimers map pick of Ancient, even though it was a very hard task for EG to pull off. Now we'll see how they approach their T side here. A lot more methodical than Overpass, as it should be. Malcolm's going to get one after Jason found the George, and it's back and forth we go. There the duel. He's only keeping 8 bullets though, but Jason's good for the last 2. Hex and Automatic go down. Another very torrid pace to these pistol rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Once the hit comes, it's full collapse, massacre, a little slaughter in the bathrooms.
I think Fluffy Aimers taking every pistol.
That sounds... No. They did not win the first half pistol on Ancient.
The first one they didn't lose, but they won the second half one in a very similar fashion to this one.
Yes, the full collapse.
Yeah.
You know, usually when there's a massacre in the bathroom, it's because I ate too many burritos.
I don't know if anyone needs to know that, but yeah.
People need to know, John. I'm here to provide them with information. Peepings, here to provide EG with lead.
EG, last time they played on Overpass, it was a 13-2 win. Excuse me, 13-1 win over Wildcard, I believe it was, unless I'm mistaken. But either way, over their last 4, 2 13-1 wins, one against PA, one against Wildcard, and of course that was in CS2. So we are expecting good things from them here. learsi, waiting with the smoke. He's going to toss it eventually once the first one fades away that was thrown from spawn. And the Fluffy Aimers have the advantage for now, although there is that Galil to worry about in Automatic's hands. The other 3 players have pistols. Molotov's going to get thrown at the perfect time. Yep.
Oh, that's brutal. Sacrifice just sends him straight in to be broiled, but George, all right, a little bit of intrigue on. Gonna be tough to deal with Peeping, but he's done exactly that. Doesn't have the range for the final fight, but it's good damage. Not what they were hoping for. A bomb plant would have been wonderful. Fluffy Aimers, they survive the forced buy.
So they make it through. Now EG has to go for the eco. You see George at 3.3k and Junior at 3.2. So, I mean, Junior is obviously saving for the op. George can invest a little bit as a result into some util, maybe a pistol upgrade in this round. But Automatic seems to be the designated hero rifle throughout these first 2 maps anyway. He's going to go for the Galil. Everyone else on pistols. Nade's going to get tossed forward. Jason, waiting around here. Maybe too long. Dia, the same thing. Yeah, they spotted out the player over at Party, and Walco has to retreat, going down to 36 HP. Peeping's trying to collapse now from Connector, which is a very lethal spot to be in, especially when there's so much pressure being applied from the bathrooms. Junior, boosting Automatic up to the top there. That boost spot in your cafe. And I mean, no one's here long, so a lot of information for EG, and Dia's gonna find one from Junior before getting traded on himself. That's a gun on the ground.
Yes, indeed. Peeping, though, taking the initiative here, dropping another player on down, securing that bomb once more. And at this point, well, the reinforcements are well and truly here. Nothing that can be expected. See if Hex can find one. No, he cannot. Bullet lands, but that's about it. Only 1 casualty, no bomb plant there. A successful round for the Fluffy Aimers.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job from them shutting down the Evil Geniuses. Although they gave up a ton of space towards long, it wasn't really utilized by the Evil Geniuses, who tried to double back into the bathrooms. And as soon as they did, yes, they get 1, but Peeping with the MP9 farms there, gets $1,200 in his bank account. Eventually did go down, but it was cleaned up by the rest of his squad. So 3-0 for the Fluffy Aimers. This is how EG started out, of course, on Ancient, before things went absolutely crazy. We're going to get more of the same here on Overpass. The Fluffy Aimers, they're no joke right now. And Jason's going to throw that nade, connects onto Hex, takes him down to 62, and Jason retreats because of that Molotov that was thrown. Good movement on his side, goes right back into it, catches Hex with util in his hands, and gets 1. Thinking about swinging for the second, but decides better. and backs up. Oh, now he goes for the fight again, and Junior's not expecting the peek. Well done, Jason.
This looks so reminiscent of the early rounds of Ancient, right?
Yeah.
Where Fluffy AIMERS just taking all the initiative on the fights, and EG seems to be flummoxed, bamboozled. They had a whole map to warm up, man. No more time to be flummoxed. No bamboozling.
The thing is for EG is that they need to adjust to CS2 on every single map. And Ancient, they've played quite a bit, so they've had the chance to, but Overpass a little bit more. Automatics didn't get that frag onto Jason, and they did do very well against Wildcard and PA, but that was, I guess, early days for CS2. Players are adjusting and changing their strategies. Evil geniuses need to catch up. That said, I love the look they gave in overtime on Ancient. That was probably the best EG play I've seen so far this season.
It was. It was indeed. This time they will just save. So EG back to their mission to take the maximum amount of time in every round possible. I was thinking about that last game and doing the math on, you know, MR12, regulation, 48 minutes, theoretical normal round maximum. But if you plant the bomb like towards the end of that to, you know, minute 55 each time, you could theoretically get it to be probably on average about like 2.5 minutes.
Yep.
If you're going really long. I think EG got all those. Every minute that they could, man.
And they got a timeout called here too. Yeah, no, it was very long. The longest map we've probably had, aside from yesterday, of course, that marathon between Mythic and Nouns on Inferno.
I think that honestly might have been quicker. I'm not even kidding. I think that individual map, that series in general was very long. But I think that individual map, if we take away tech issues, probably was quicker because of the pace of play.
I forgot about the tech issues. You're right.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just an entirely different pace of play. EG are not. They are refusing to adapt to what a lot of teams have been doing in the Counter-Strike 2 pace of play. They are really trying to stick to their philosophy.
I mean, I respect it.
James would be proud, man.
Yeah, I suppose so, but I mean, eventually, it feels like you have to let go of it. It feels like you have to make the change. Maybe they'll prove us wrong. I still feel like the adaptations we saw in Ancient are showing that eventually they will adapt and adjust. Beeping, oh man, that nade is going to do a ton of damage, and his head was also spotted by Automatic, but didn't have time to shoot. Flashbang going to get tossed. Diaz fully blinded. So he's running into his teammate, bumping into walls, finally retreats, and no punish on for the Evil Geniuses, who are making that full-on adjustment and rotation here on Overpass. And they are going to burn this clock.
They are that, but this time it's for good reason, right? Look at this map control. They're gating out towards long. Flashbang is going to trigger the rotation. 2 players heading up to reinforce. And they've got a good setup to deal with those long plays. So they haven't quite seized the moment, have EG, of the light window. But they still got a decent fight against Jason. If they can keep him isolated. Oh, that looked like it could have been a collapse. And now set up on the angle. It's Jason knocking them both down. So this is a catastrophe. This is a disaster. And this one's looking like it's over and done with. Just Hex remains. For him, it might be about damage. That's really the best you can hope for here. And he will not be afforded the opportunity. Upgrade available there for Sacrifice even. And Fluffy AIMERS, that's a commanding round to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Just look at the scoreboard. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
Drop the op. That's interesting. They had an op in hand. They get rid of it. They don't want the op?
I think that might have been a mistake.
I would assume so, but no, it's a rifle that's going to be bought over. They don't want the op up against the eco, it seems.
Huh.
Could have replaced it with an AWP, but they're not going to deal with that. So that was a willful command because he picks up the op first and then drops it. So that was a decided choice.
I mean, look, we've talked about it. Players moving away from it, deciding that the op isn't worth picking up, and in this situation, I can't blame them. Right? With these pistols coming around those corners, the op feels like a negative in some ways. So, yeah. Seeing the meta shift before our very eyes. 5-0 Fluffy AIMERS. Going to look at that scoreboard, though. learsi is 0-1 after 5 rounds. So 1 death, no frags. Not often that you're going to see that. And
He saw him.
Dia saw the leg.
Oh my goodness, they have no clue. The timing has been brutal here for Junior. They're just spamming to try and hold them in here. Now Dia puts them on red alert, but they're stuck. They're stymied. Unfortunately, it's only one player right here, but they're going to commit in towards B. It's into the meat grinder. Somehow they're getting these kills. There's no way. There were 3 players on site. How have EG gone away with this? Oh, and a goal falls to Hext. He's cracked his own goose egg in this round. Now he's going to get the bomb planted down. So already a fairly successful round, but he cannot close it. Dia too quick in to respond. That's going to be a bomb defused. That was way more than EG ever should have gotten out of that round once Dia's flank came through.
Yeah, it almost feels like Dia's flank helped them, propel them forward, right? They realized, okay, he's flanking. We have to push up. Otherwise, we're just going to die. And they ended up getting a few frags because of it. What were you going to say, Mike? Sorry.
I bet there were 3 players on site. Like, it's the ideal defense.
But those Tech 9s, Mike, it's Counter-Strike too, you know?
True. You're right. It's just tough.
This is why...
Fluffy AIMERS, though, I mean, it's the 6-0, right? At the end of the day, you could critique that round, but they are winning the important ones, and they are stymieing EG. This is where we need to see some life from the Evil Geniuses, because we just haven't had it so far.
I would love to see more of those quick executes on rifle rounds, because, you know, they can definitely have the firepower. There's no question. Start winning, and there's the nades coming through. Or 2 spot, no one really there. I think Peeping took a little bit of damage. Actually, no, that was on the other side of the map that he took damage. So not even relevant to those nades. 1:24 on the clock, and look at Peeping. He's already at the bottom of long A. He has a player over at short A. So this leaves, if a player goes down here, A kind of vulnerable unless Fluffy AIMERS sends Sacrifice up, which they could quite quickly. I don't know. Evil Geniuses slowly but surely wrestling away some map control with the use of utility. He is waiting on the angle, hits the shot, falls off, taking a bit of damage, but still surviving.
All good. And Peeping's position out towards long, he's got all this information. He's going to be able to play into the bathrooms, keep that clear. So actually funneled down. Haven't pulled any of the rotates, right? That was a good exchange for the AWP. Haven't forced anyone to move. 35 seconds now. The slow pace of play going to start to cost you. Jason trying to play anti-flash there. Gets caught on the check, so push comes to shove. They do get into the site. Bomb going to make its way over to be planted. Eventually, George catches Peeping on the flank, so this looks a whole lot better now. Dia trying to get frisky. His teammate's not on the same page. They're not playing together. There's a gap left here, and as time's ticking away, this could be EG on the board. Ooh, the distraction for Dia. Slams over towards construction at just the wrong moment, and Sacrifice now just trying a desperate campaign. He's gonna back away. He's going to concede. Evil Geniuses will get a gun round on the board.
Yeah, a little bit shaky, but they do pull it off. Honestly, Dia, he was going for the hard clear in towards Monster, and then at the last moment, there's a little bit of a distraction, as you mentioned, and he flicks away. He should have just held the angle, honestly, because if he did, he probably would have won that fight. But in the end, Evil Geniuses do manage to pull it off. 30 seconds was on the clock, and they went for their execute, and it panned out. First round on the board, finally for them. They're down by 5, and the money should be pretty good from Fluffy AIMERS. Yeah, they have plenty of cash to go for a full-on buy-up here. On the other side, well, it's going to be a full buy-up as well. Junior, in fact, running the op here. See what they decide to do this time. There's the nade, Fluffy AIMERS. George catches it, goes down to 53. Jason, after going for that aggressive push with the AG, decides to stick around, throws a smoke into connector to try and gain some control there and force the Evil Geniuses in the opposite direction.
Little talk about in this mid round here.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot happening, but they have got a player out monster. Automatic taking this space. And backing out of it. Interesting. Right on the precipice of doing something here. But they are going to shift in towards B take. So they're going to group, they're going to mass. They haven't really gained anything.
Yeah.
Haven't gotten the picks, but with 45 seconds left, now they're going to make the move. Smoke comes in. That could be a problem. That's going to delay things up. Flashbang, they have to go through it. They know, but they're already on the beachhead. Jason, learsi getting these kills, and they're just shut down. They're being bottlenecked to being held in. And they've got no bailout at this point. 30 seconds, no more util. The bomb down in the dirt. It's a catastrophe for the Evil Geniuses. They didn't have a plan B.
Yeah. Look, a lot of question marks in that round. And Automatic gains so much space into Monster and then falls off of it so they can regroup. I get maybe you're a little bit concerned about a player peeking from heaven, but I mean, if I'm him, either I take the fight or I try to go all the way across Monster into the corner and catch the Fluffy Aimers off guard where they weren't really defending that spot at that specific time. So yeah, interesting to give up map control, especially when that's where the hit will ultimately come. And the Fluffy Aimers take a 7th, and they've already won this half.
It does feel like these are some of the issues that we were seeing on Ancient for Evil Geniuses that they eventually sorted out. It's just you're taking a maximum amount of time, but you're not necessarily getting results for it. And these are issues that I mean, this harkens back to a long time within this roster.
Very
right?
long.
A long time that this has been one of our critiques of this team. Is that they take all the time in the world, but they don't make use of it. If you're going to run everything down to 40 seconds before you hit, get something to show for it. This time they do, because Jason wants to get aggressive. And so out by the fountains, the kill comes in, and now they're taking control off of that. I like this. Flashbang's good. Shot's good. You gain full A control, and there's still a minute 20 left on the clock. So picking up the pace here, catching Fluffy Aimers sleeping. And now they've pulled the rotate. Now you can make your choice. You've still got presence down outside the monster tunnel of whether you want to commit in or whether you want to back away.
Still, that was scary. If Dia gets that shot off, I mean, two and a half players go down. Alrighty, Walco takes down Peeping, and it is working out much better. You know, gaining this space, like you said, using the time on the clock effectively. I mean, you can run it down, but if you're not gaining space, you're not lurking, you're not doing anything with it, then there's really no point. You might as well just execute it at the beginning of the round. learsi and Sacrifice, last two standing, and this time, I mean, EG can, of course, burn the clock down even further because they have that advantage and they want to keep the Fluffy Aimers guessing, so this time makes sense.
And it's going to be the gamble stack for the Fluffy Aimers, as it should be. Right? You're in this situation, you're in a 2v4, play buddy-buddy, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You could save the guns into the next round. Full execute comes on towards A, so it will, in fact, not work. The bomb will be down. 15 seconds to spare. 14, 13, come on, fellas. There we go. 10 seconds to spare. They'll plant the bomb.
Oh my god.
All the seconds, John. All the time.
Paid
Sacrifice
by the second.
Here, let's save. Yeah, apparently. Maybe that is the way the EG riders work.
And now we wait a little bit longer until eventually Evil Geniuses will get their second round on the board. And I mean, the reason that one works out is I think obviously Evil Geniuses were peeking around, waiting for the aggression to come through, and Fluffy Aimers that time gave it to them instead of letting EG burn out the clock. So maybe the strategy of making Fluffy Aimers wait and wait and wait for the fights is making them a little impatient. And that resulted in a few mistakes there. Still a healthy, relatively healthy economy here for the Fluffy Aimers. They will be able to get, they'll be able to get plenty of util. It won't be full for either Peeping or Jason, but everyone else should be able to make up for that. And on the Evil Geniuses side, well, they're starting to build up some bank, but they need to build up rounds being down by this much. There's the monster smoke thrown immediately by the Fluffy Aimers. They do have a lurk here on the Geniuses side. That is automatic, and Dia, what a peek into connector. Hex immediately dropped Oh, goodness me, and Peeping's over at tree. Is he going to get spotted? Dia gets another one, and then Peeping peeks around and gets two! Oh my goodness, the sequence, the coordination from the fluffy aimers. The aggression is on, and this time, EG has no answers.
Look, I know Peeping got 2 of those kills, but I feel like Dia should get an
Yes,
assist for those
yes.
as well. He is flying around right now, taking the initiative. I mean, really just creates that round for the team. Look, the blistering peek in towards Khan is one thing, but the kill the fountain player, that's what actually sells it, because then the
Yes.
2 long players snap over. That sets up Peeping for the peak, and that's all fluffy aimers getting aggressive with it, changing up the boundaries, and they're trying this every round, right? We saw this 2 rounds ago work against them when George gets the headshot and the first player peeking towards fountain, but I like that they're sticking to their guns. They're keeping EG uncomfortable. They're keeping them off balance. And the Evil Genius is burning their second time out now as we hit round 11. And this half has just gotten completely out of control.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I just feel like in that situation, you have a couple of players committed to long. You're aware of the possibility of someone pushing up because of how aggressive the fluffy aimers are. I agree. Dia did work there, at least earning the attention of one player from long, but both holding that angle. That's where I think maybe EG should have realized, okay, we have to have at least one player watching to see if someone's deciding to push up long, and no one did. That gave Peeping 2 for free. And I agree with you, though. Dia gets the assist there. Not shown on the scoreboard, but definitely he's the reason why Peeping's able to get those 2 pretty much for free. Here we go, though. Round number 11. The fluffy aimers looking for a 9th. At the very least, EG with the full loss bonus will be able to fully buy up here, but it's getting so dire. That's a big one to lose. And also, the way CS2 plays out now, I don't feel like Overpass is like how it was on CSGO, right?
No.
Where it's super CT-sided. That doesn't apply anymore.
No, not so much. We wouldn't expect it to be so.
Yeah.
I mean, tough to see with these teams. It's just going to be, it's going to be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, this is dire. Whatever way you want to split it, whatever way you want to cut it, whatever justifications you want to add, you got 2 rounds here on your map pick on the T side. There hasn't even been anything particularly compelling in those 2 rounds. Here it goes. Slow play in towards B, it seems. Chain flashes. Those are good. Get them around the lip, but they can't get the kills. They can't get the kills. Advantage for the fluffy aimers, and the bomb is down as well, so they are fully committed. 35 seconds in they go, automatic. No one's watching for him. That's a lack of awareness. Blunders made from the fluffy aimers, and they might just be enough, but learsi taking the initiative here. learsi and Dia on the scene now, on the spot. Junior hunting. 20 seconds is all he has to make this work, but he's found the first. He's brought it down to the clutch. Molotov was there to slow it up. Junior's going to be able to get these numbers punched in. Dia gets the AK. Oh, misses the jump. That would have been tremendous, but Junior's able to back away. Ice in his veins. He slips off the site. Dia doesn't know he's left either. Not a sound was made. So Dia panicking. Wondering where he could be. Isolating the positions now. Making the footsteps.
He's sticking it. He's sticking
Junior,
it. What a play.
Junior, you got to check. And the stick just comes through, and Junior never even thinks, never ponders that he could be on it. Tries to call his bluff, but Dia will snatch that one away. Oh, no. The evil geniuses going to be shaking their heads after that one. Just completely outfoxed.
Oh, wow. Pros don't fake, and I guess Dia's a pro now. 9-2 in favor.
Reminder, that was a 4v2 on site.
Yeah.
Even getting to that point was close.
It was crazy that they fought their way back. I mean, great work from Junior, but you got to at least have a peek. You got to jiggle.
Gotta close it.
Oh boy. Well, thought it would be a third for Evil Geniuses, but nope, not trending their way at all.
When it rains, it pours for the Geniuses. Their org is centered in Seattle, so they know a lot about that. This is a weird setup for fluffy aimers.
Hey,
Trying
look,
to catch EG off guard. 4A. Get a free site, rock on in, plant the bomb. FA trying to get real cheeky with it. Now let's see if they're going to be punished. The nades, that's good. Mortar shot in. Walco out early, so an advantage, but it is a retake. Comes the play around. Automatic trying to take the initiative here. Hex and Automatic. These are going to be the key positions. Automatic, he's burning. But in their pursuit, they lose some bodies to Hex. And George will find the final shot he needs. A third round found for the Geniuses. And we're taking a break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Back in action here with the second half. One final round there for EG, though it was touch and go even in that. Now the Fluffy AIMERS with a massive 6-round lead. Can they make a series of this? Take us to a third, take us to Mirage.
It's possible, but I feel like that last round for the Evil Geniuses was quite key. We talked about it after I went to the halftime break. The fact is, it was the first time they went for an execute in the first 30 seconds of the round or without less than 40 seconds left on the clock, and the result was a round victory. So we'll see if EG ratchets up the aggression. They are towards mid here. Malcolm gets the opener. Nice little shot onto Dia. And now, Automatic. He's in a tough spot. Junior helping him out, though, taking down Sacrifice in connector, and still they manage to deal the damage. No one going down for the Evil Geniuses, and this time they're in control of the pistol round.
Don't think a bomb plant's even a thought at this point.
No.
A kill would be nice. Oh, go. Not going to be checked here. Ah!
Whoa.
CS2'd. He's got it on the second. All good. Don't worry about that. What you see is what you get.
No. Yeah. I mean, I hope one day that will be the case. But
You see is what you get with Subtick.
Mm,
Everyone knows that. They said it. They wouldn't lie to us.
no, definitely never.
I think he probably still had a little bit of movement and accuracy, but
He did.
there is some things with subtick and movement and things not stopping exactly when you think they should, and counter strafing and
Lots of stuff.
lots of stuff.
I saw something in the patch notes. I'm not sure what it was about, but might have had to do with subtick. I'm not sure. There were some changes to something network related. I'm not a network specialist though, so I can't really understand some of the jargon they throw our way.
You know, I haven't read today's patch notes yet.
Yeah.
What do we get? I saw the Inferno
There's a lot of
changes.
map changes. Yeah, mostly clipping and things like that. Making
Nade
things
clipping.
smoother.
That'll be interesting, because I have seen a lot more nades whiff back towards you that you would not expect players to make. Junior collecting with just the USP. He is once again not invested into this round, as he did on Ancient, to try and get the op up early. And with 2 kills off the USP, well, that'll go a long way to making it happen. Make that 3 kills off the USP. All right, Junior, who needs to buy guns?
Not Junior.
Not Junior.
Alrighty, there we go. Things starting to return to normalcy here for the Evil Geniuses. 5 rounds found, still 4 back, but definitely their CT side looking a lot more comfortable. They're taking that aggressive posturing towards mid. 4 players again taking the fights. Junior with the USP doing the damage, but here come the rifles for the Fluffy Aimers. Let's see if things change for EG. I mean, obviously, they do typically play aggressive towards Fountain. That's the way most teams play Overpass, usually with the AWP going for that early peak. But Junior's actually towards long this time, and some flashbangs being exchanged on both sides at Fountain as the Fluffy Aimers are taking their time, expecting a little bit of a push to come through, which they will get at long A. Junior is waiting. He's posted up. When he peeks around here, he'll probably get one. The question is it one and done? Can he deliver more? He's going to get the information from George soon. Yeah, there it is. Here we go. Nice shot from Junior. There's one. Great flashbang from Hex, and George gets 2 freebies.
All right, here's Evil Geniuses looking like themselves again, taking the initiative, getting the flash peeks in, getting some juice going. You're in the smoke fade. learsi wants a fight. He's just going to walk it. He's just going to walk. The timing is brutal for Hex. The nade comes out just at the wrong moment. Would have had the player dead to rights if that hadn't happened. Some counter utility on. Hail of flashes.
Oh,
And the Molotov will seal Walko's fate. So a chance at a bomb plant, a chance at the round. So it's going so very well. And the nades will make Sacrifice's life difficult, but this one still on the table.
learsi.
Or the checking it. Automatics aware that it could be happening. He reads it, but still now this puts George in such a tough spot. Gonna rock in a hard place, and Sacrifice meanwhile has given them the slip. Bomb's no longer planted for them, which he'll know. He planted it. But they have no idea where he is.
Someone's got to stick this. Come on.
George has the kit. There they're going to get on the stick. Sacrifice trying to get on the angle, and he denies the bomb plant. He's won the round. Sacrifice has done it. Insane play there. Gives them the slip and the shot as well. Beautiful maneuver.
I mean, the fact that he was alive in the first place was a testament to his movement to dodge that second nade, because it looked like he was going to be done, but he ends up being the difference maker at the end. And the Fluffy Aimers, despite the fact that I think EG played that pretty well, they just didn't win that fight. Automatic going down in that situation really made life difficult for George, forced him to stay back a little bit longer so he couldn't peek around and see what Sacrifice was up to. And well, there you have it. A 10th round found for the Fluffy Aimers, and great spray from Sacrifice, showing exactly where that bomb was planted. 3 more rounds for the Fluffy Aimers, and we are headed to a 3rd and decisive map on the one and only Miragi. Evil Geniuses are not going to give up yet, though. They are going for a full-on 4 spy. Junior, still very potent with the scout, as we saw on Ancient. Smoke going to get tossed here into bathrooms. Molotov as well. That Molotov is definitely towards short 8. Is not off the map, folks. Off the radar. Yeah, doesn't get anything. Automatic. Waits and waits and waits and ends up getting the headshot. 5v4. Another player coming though, and automatic's good for it as well. 2K.
Evil Genius is looking to rectify the mistake of the last, but Junior's under pressure. He's going to have to give this up. If the bomb were anywhere close to it, I would say this is a guaranteed bomb plant, but, well, the bomb is by spawn, so it's going to take a little while to reroute. GPS recalculating. Recalculating. Recalculating.
This is so long to wait for that bomb.
I mean, at this point, EG have to be wondering what the heck's going on. We
And the
lost
smoke's
sight.
gonna
They
fade.
haven't planted. What's happening here?
Whoa.
Fell off the boost. There's the bomb. There's the tick. Now they know. Okay. All right. Smokes are gone. There's not a lot of retake utility. There's a single smoke for automatic. They're going to wait for their teammates to get in towards connector. EG, you have to be a little wary. It took so long to get this planted
Does
that they're
EG have
assuming
a
some
kit?
sort of trap is set. No, they do not. This was a force buy round, so it's going to get a bit cheeky. Junior can't connect. He can't do it. Can't find the kill he needs, and the teammates from Connector are just here too late. Junior's trying to buy them time, but now into the angle. Jason's on the line, and do they have enough time?
No, they don't.
They don't have enough time. They missed the 10-second mark. They're not going to be able to win this. There will be no survivors today. Do they make it away from the bomb?
I don't think so.
Oh, George just barely does. He's out of there, but it is the round for Fluffy Aimers, and at this point for EG, you can't be losing rounds like that. You can't be letting the advantages slip. You just don't have enough chances here.
That's why I was thinking in my head, look, if you don't have kits, you want to do everything possible to deny a bomb plant, which is why I was so surprised they were playing for retake. Very passive. And waiting, and then having to wait even longer for the flank to come in. Again, no kits available to them, not taking any fights. Very, very odd decision-making in that situation, but, I mean, the Fluffy Aimers capitalized, did the job, won some key fights as well on that site. And some whiffs coming through from the Evil Geniuses means an 11th round found. Now they're one away from at least map point. Evil Geniuses will be forcing up again. I just don't know right now, Mike. I mean, that lost round where they had the advantage on the site, right, and they couldn't get the bomb defused, that could be really the round that broke their back.
Could be. There are a few of these. This overpass has been far from compelling in sum total for this Evil Geniuses squad. Frankly, Ancient was far from compelling in sum total. But here comes the strike, here comes the hit. It's the stack as well. 50 seconds on the clock. Fluffy Aimers seem like they're playing their way into the stack, but as I say that, EG is disassembled. They have bailed out. They have rotated. Wow. So instead, I'm unclear about how many players are actually going to be here to receive them. Two are ready for the fight.
Assuming it happens at any point. Are they going back to A? They're going back to A.
Still have a Molotov on George. I don't know how I feel about this rotation. They got no time for this. They're just going to rock on through 20 seconds. There can be no mistakes, no errors here. But George has brought the utility back down, so there's nothing to stall them out quite. It's all going to be about these gunfights. First one. First contact with automatic. He's down for the count. They have to get this bomb down. So little time. Are they going to be able to do so? They are just barely. Walker wants to deny, but in doing so, he gives up his life. It's a clutch for Hext. He's out by Optimus. Sacrifice is low, but that's all he needs to secure map point. Fluffy Aimers just need one of these next 7, and we're going to Mirage.
That was so risky for the Fluffy Aimers, but I guess in their minds, they're saying, look, guys, we've been winning most of the gunfights, so even with very little time on the clock, we probably still can pull this off, and it was down to the wire. They still get the bomb planted in the nick of time and win the round. But man, that was so scary for them going for that adjustment. I thought that the B site was honestly still a good hit, but they decided against it. Maybe that Molotov that was thrown deterred them from it and said, let's just go for the full-on rotate. It was crazy. I can't believe they still won it, but they did. And now they have 7 opportunities to close this one out and send us over to Mirage. That is... This has been a crazy turn of events on Overpass. I think the only time that I felt like Evil Geniuses were better than the Fluffy Aimers on map number 1 in Ancient was overtime. Outside of that, the Fluffy Aimers were the better team, and I think they continue to be here on Overpass.
It certainly has been the case. Certainly has felt that way. Felt like they have more of the momentum in their favor. And at this point, I mean, you're going to have to roll this ball up a very steep hill if you're Evil Geniuses. Talk about Sisyphus. You're going to have to do it 7 times. It's not quite eternity, but it might as well be.
The buy-up is so bad too, though. Fluffy Aimers deciding to take their time. Once more. Taking a page out of the Evil Geniuses book. Only one player on B, though. Oh my goodness. If they go right now, I think ready to rush. Yeah.
Even with Junior coming in to reinforce, it's just a scout. If they go quick, if they just hit 30 seconds, though, and look at this, 2 players down connector now, but Jason's holding it. He's got the first Junior ripper of a shot. Needed that one to hit. Now they've cleared out the connector presence. You can't rotate. Guys, come on, not again. 20 seconds. What are they doing? They're going. There's even less time this time that they're getting up. I mean, this is insane. Hext is the one who's going to try and deny them out the bank. He just got spotted. Smoke on. Jason knows he's here. He's got the kill.
There's
and
no
with it,
way.
the bomb will go down. 5 seconds to spare. And how do you mount this retake now with a scout and a salvaged AK? Make that just the scout Junior up against the world, being wrapped upon, down, done, and dusted. He knows there's no chance. He knows there's no way, but desperation will propel him forward to his doom. Fluffy Aimers do it in a commanding victory on their opponent's map pick. I mean, at this point, this feels like it should have been a 2-0 if it weren't for the tenacity of EG on Ancient.
Absolutely. That overtime performance has saved EG in this series so